CBS 12 starts now with breaking news.
This breaking news from Palm Beach International Airport tonight. A Southwest airplane evacuated after a suspicious powder was found on board that flight 793. The plane was scheduled to take off at 4:10 this afternoon, headed for Baltimore.
137 passengers and crew members on board that flight have been evacuated. They're now sitting on the tarmac. Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric Roby.
I'm Liz Quinantes. Thanks for joining us. We do have Chase Scott, the PIO from the city of West Palm Beach, on the telephone with us right now for more information on this breaking news. Chase, how was this discovered, this suspicious powder?
Liz, apparently stewardess, prior to having many of the passengers load the plane, was in the restroom and discovered a powder in a tissue box that was located in that restroom.
And what is the process that's going on right now, and why are the passengers on the tarmac as opposed to being inside of the airport?
Well, we have to have a certain area to contain everyone that may or may not have been contaminated. We don't want to risk contamination of other individuals or other areas of the airport in the event that this turns out to be a hazardous substance. Of course, it'll take us a little bit of time to determine exactly what we're dealing with. And there are two members of the crew that were exposed to the substance. They are still on the plane right now, and we're going to put them through the decontamination process as a safety precaution.
And West Palm Beach Fire Rescue, the hazmat team, is that the lead agency on this?
We are participating with other agencies from the area, but right now the West Palm Beach Fire Department's hazmat team is conducting the decontamination process, and we're investigating what the substance is.
Now, we're coming up on almost 2 hours since the evacuation of this flight. I know sometimes these things can take a long time. What has to be done to determine if this substance is something that we should be concerned about, and how much longer will these passengers have to sit out there?
It really depends on the testing process at this time. We have to make sure that we know what we're dealing with before we can allow anyone to leave or reboard the plane. And it does depend on the chemical process to determine, exactly what that substance is. So some substances take a little longer. They're a little bit harder to detect. Some things show up a little quicker. So it's impossible at this point to say exactly how long it could take.
All right, Chase Scott with the city of West Palm Beach giving us the very latest, the situation at Palm Beach International Airport. We also have CBS 12's Lauren Hills, who is live on the scene as well on the ground. Lauren, you've been out there for a few minutes now. What have you been able to see and what have you learned?
Eric, good evening. Well, let me just step aside here and let you take a look at this scene as we are seeing it out here in the field. You can see plenty of flashing lights and plenty of activity still going on. As you had mentioned earlier, this is a Southwest flight that was from West Palm Beach to Baltimore. 137 passengers on board. All were evacuated after it was a flight attendant who apparently noticed a white powdery substance. She was the one who had called police. Hazmat, of course, was then called in, and of course, they are still currently on scene to try to figure out exactly what this substance is that was found on board. So as we are out here and just kind of watching things develop, we are just simply in standby mode, waiting to hear the next update from authorities.
Lauren, behind you, it looks like they're hosing down one of the hazmat crews. Is this the staging area for West Palm Beach Fire Department for the hazmat team?
You cut out a little bit, Eric. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes, I'm wondering, we're looking at live pictures as it appears though a firefighter is being hosed down. Is this the staging area for the hazmat team, and what else are you seeing?
Yeah, we don't have a huge view from where we are right here. We can see we still got some fire officials that are right over there. And actually, I'm just getting an update that we are currently looking at the hazmat, I should say. As I mentioned, we're just getting on scene here and trying to assess the situation. So plenty of activity here and just waiting to get an update from authorities about, what the latest is while we're in standby mode.
All right, Lauren Hills reporting live for us at PBIA. I do want to mention that 2 crew members have been contaminated with the suspicious substance at PBIA, powder found inside of the restroom. About 140 people sitting on the tarmac waiting to find out what that substance is, and you just saw the hazmat team working hard trying to get that answer as soon as possible. Keep it right here. Of course, any new information on this developing story, we'll bring it right to you during the 6 o'clock hour or at CBS 12 News at 7.
Also today, Herman Cain hitting South Florida at a pivotal time, hoping to move past the recent sexual harassment accusations. He's already had 2 other rallies in Florida today. This is now his 3rd at the convention center in West Palm Beach. Team coverage begins now with CBS 12's John Bachman, who's live inside the convention center at the rally. John?
Yeah, Liz, we're expecting Herman Cain to get on stage here just any moment now. We have a program that's begun here. We've had a few speakers, including the chairman of the Palm Beach County Republican Party, get on stage here. They're rallying the crowd, getting them pumped up for Herman Cain's eventual trip up here to the podium where he will rally to this crowd. Some of the audience here asking us to keep it down a little bit, so we'll do that for them. These programs are typical before the candidates get up on stage. We expect Herman Cain to talk about his economic plan, his 999 plan, and we have also heard today him talk about foreign policy. Of course, that's very important here in South Florida, appealing to the voters. The issue with Israel and the Middle East, always important for voters to hear, guys. But as this program continues, we're going to keep a listen in, and we'll get back to you as soon as Herman Cain takes the stage. Liz and Eric will send it back to you for now.
All right, John, we'll try not to interrupt that program. So let's go outside to CBS 12's Ben Becker to find out what is going on outside of the convention center. And earlier, there were some people that weren't too happy that Cain was visiting.
Well, that's right. Here outside the convention center, people have gathered to express their thoughts about Herman Cain. A lot of protesters you can see behind me right now. That's just give you a little bit of a taste of the flavor here outside the convention center. Now, Cain was in Miami and Broward County earlier today. Cain is the first of the Republican presidential candidates to host a multi-city tour in South Florida. Florida is fertile ground for Republicans. The unemployment and foreclosure rates are some of the highest in the country. Florida is the biggest swing state that President Obama could lose in the 2012 election. Cain's supporters and protesters did not mince words.
How come I'm not for Herman Cain? Are you kidding me? This guy's against everything for common people. He's a total idiot, let's face it.
Well, Cain creating strong opinions, partly because of questions about his foreign policy expertise and sexual harassment allegations. Now, Cain, again, will be leaving here soon in the Palm Beach County Convention Center, heading over to Palm Beach for a private fundraiser. These folks expected to be here for quite a while. Reporting live from downtown West Palm Beach, Ben Becker, CBS 12 News.
Thanks, Ben. And if we can do it, we will try and bring you live Herman Cain as he speaks. CBS 12 News is your election headquarters. You can find out everything that you need to know by going to cbs12.com/elections.
More bizarre behavior from a Palm Beach County firefighter paramedic. This is 37-year-old Jean-Antoine Pierre in his holding cell after being arrested and charged with causing a bomb scare and shooting at his South Palm Beach condo. The disturbance and damage he caused in there, it's a CBS 12 exclusive. Pierre was a no-show at his first appearance in court today. The judge denied bond. Tonight, we are also listening to the 911 call to police when the shooting started and a look at his personnel file. CBS 12's Al Peffley has been working on all of this all day today. He joins us live. Al?
Liz, an off-duty firefighter remains behind bars after yesterday's shooting spree in South Palm Beach. And after police took him away, there was more trouble when he got to the police station. Surveillance video from Lantana Police shows the firefighter Jean-Antoine Pierre in a holding cell Tuesday before he was taken to the county jail. At one point, he stands up, and moments later, he reaches up and rips down a light fixture from the ceiling of his cell. As a result of that, he's charged with criminal mischief. Police say Pierre went on a shooting spree Tuesday in the condo building where he lives, firing from 18 to 22 shots in a fourth-floor hallway, shooting the front door of his condo and the door of another condo. A resident called 911.
What's going on there, ma'am?
There's a man on the floor, a neighbor. He came to the door and he was shooting a pistol. And
excuse me, somebody shooting a pistol?
Yes, he had a pistol in his hand and he was shooting it. Oh my God.
The resident stayed on the phone with the dispatcher while waiting for police.
He was standing in front of the door, and my mother opened the door, and he started shooting, and we closed the door and locked the door.
A check of Pierre's personnel file at Palm Beach County Fire Rescue shows he got a score of acceptable on his most recent performance evaluation, and he has 6 letters of appreciation from the public. He got a 5-day suspension in January 2009 for failing to tell his supervisors that he had been arrested for DUI. And Pierre was absent without authorized leave and got a written warning for that in July of 2010. Records show Pierre went on extended leave September 5th through October 26th, a period of about 6 weeks recently, but his file does not explain why. As for yesterday's shooting, why he did it is still unclear.
Why did he do that? And without knowing all those details, I can't tell you whether, he did it intentionally or whether he's got some issues. We don't know.
And interestingly enough, Pierre makes almost $87,000 a year as a firefighter paramedic. The sheriff's office says Pierre also repeatedly banged his head against the wall today while he was being held at the Palm Beach County Jail. and he was taken to a hospital for treatment and observation. Live, Al Peffley, CBS 12 News.
Thank you, Al. Authorities have now identified the two men who died in a plane crash in the Loxahatchee Wildlife Refuge earlier this week. The passenger has been identified as 23-year-old Sean McLeod from Bushnell, Florida. The pilot has been identified as 34-year-old Ryan Ruano, also from Bushnell. Their bodies were recovered with the plane yesterday, which was stuck 12 feet underground. The plane they had been flying was owned by a flight school in Orlando. The NTSB is still investigating what caused the accident.
A Royal Palm Beach home invasion over the weekend, still under investigation tonight. Detectives continue to look for the two suspects that got away. A third person was shot and killed by a deputy at the scene. The same deputy involved in a shooting 3 years ago. Tonight, the brother of the teen killed 3 years ago speaking out. CBS 12's Chuck Weber is joining us live in satellite control with that brother's words and reaction from the sheriff's office. Chuck.
Well, Eric, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says Deputy Eric Bethel fired his weapon as one of the home invasion suspects drove his car right at deputies. Now, the Sheriff's Office says that deputy last Saturday night potentially saved lives. But this same deputy was also involved in a shooting 3 years ago.
Extremely disturbed hearing that it's the same deputy.
On the phone from where he lives in Central Florida, Carl Soto, brother of Ruben DeBras, the 16-year-old killed by a sheriff's deputy outside a Royal Palm Beach movie theater in 2008.
And I do not believe that lightning strikes twice in the same area.
The state attorney's office completely cleared Deputy Eric Bethel in the incident that left Ruben DeBras dead.
He was nobody dangerous. Ruben was he was just a teenager.
DeBras was with another teen at 2 in the morning in a car that had not been returned to a rental agency. The deputy says he fired after DeBras backed the car toward him twice, a version of events DeBras's brother strongly questions.
The crime scene itself on that particular day and every day, just was not adding up to what the deputy was saying.
This past weekend in a Royal Palm Beach neighborhood, the same deputy, Eric Bethel, shoots and kills home invasion suspect Jamar Anderson. The sheriff's office says the suspect disobeyed orders to stop and drove right at deputies.
They risk their lives every day to serve and protect the community.
But after losing his brother at the hand of the same deputy, Soto is suspicious.
I do believe that he should no longer be a deputy.
Today, a spokeswoman for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says it's unfair to link the two shootings involving Deputy Bethel. She says every incident is different. And Terry Barbera points out a car is a weapon. Deputy Bethel met deadly force with deadly force. Deputy Bethel and his co-workers saved these people's lives. And she's referring there to the dangerous situation this past weekend in Royal Palm Beach. 3 weapons and police-type garb recovered at that home invasion scene. Now, as for the 2008 shooting, again, Deputy Bethel cleared by the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office. However, the teenager's mother sued the sheriff's office and settled, reportedly, for $200,000. Back to you, Liz and Eric.
Well, coming up next, named the Ponce de Leon of Floridian cooking, a celebrity chef is opening a new burger restaurant in our area. We got a sneak peek. Now here's John.
John Matthews on duty in the CBS 12 Storm Track Center. No storms right now, but tomorrow afternoon at this time, you better plan on some rain around. We have a weak cool front that's headed to town. We'll talk about that and take a long look at your weekend forecast ahead when I come right back.
Thanks, John. And now here's a look at what we're working on new for CBS 12 News live at 7.
Hi guys, are you feeling overworked, stressed, unfulfilled? Well, coming up tonight at 7, a local spiritual counselor is going to tell us how to get our professional and personal lives back on track. That's tonight when you join us at 7.
We are still on the scene of breaking news at Palm Beach International Airport. You're looking live as hazmat crews continue to investigate a suspicious powder that was found on board a Southwest flight. 137 passengers and crew members on the tarmac waiting right now. They were evacuated from Flight 793, which was bound for Baltimore. It was supposed to take off at 4:10 this afternoon. Two crew members did come in contact with the suspicious powder, and they are being decontaminated. We'll keep you posted on this breaking news.
And we're following yet more breaking news at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. We've been waiting for Herman Cain for the past hour to make his first appearance in West Palm Beach since he is a Republican candidate for president. He is now speaking, so let's listen in for a few moments.
Where we are going to alter the occupant of the White House in 2012. Alter the occupant of the